Hi everyone, Joe Salcedo here, co-founder of Anovos Productions. And the idea behind these segments is to maybe every other week gather 5 questions from you, the viewer, for us to answer in person. It may be me, it may be somebody else, but at least you'll get to hear from us in a more personal format. So the first question comes from Facebook poster Ben Pesnar. Can you please address your customer service situation? The thing about our customer service is that it's actually grown in capacity in the last couple months. And we did this because of the influx of new purchases and new acquisitions and licensing. And we did it preemptively to try to meet a lot of the customer service demand. And so by doing so, these last 2 months, more like 2 to 3 months, have been a transition period between our old customer service and new ones. That's why some of our previous customers actually started receiving what's called customer service tickets. And so these customer service tickets are what feeds into a larger funnel and a greater system so that we're actually answering all questions and not just some here and there. So the second question has to do with a post by John Harris. Why don't you offer any plus sizing, big and tall? I've seen a lot of fans who aren't just small enough to get in your sizes. Well, conversely, Melissa Smee also says, any plans to make smaller sizes? I love your products, but we'll have to spend a lot of extra money with professional tailoring to make them fit. Well, that has always been one of our challenges, admittedly. One of the things that we just implemented, the customer surveys, that as we're forming sort of the new basis of what sizes to order and what sizes to keep in stock, I ask you to please take these surveys and make comments in them, because it really is going to determine whether we need to go from 2XL all the way to 4XL or from small all the way down to petite XX extra small for our ladies. Okay, so our third question is actually a culmination of a few questions here. It comes from Facebook poster Scott Christopher Kelly. How much longer until we get the BSG flight suits? Also, David Corby. Are we ever going to see the re-release of Duty Blues? When we first started the business of Anovos, our first brand was Battlestar Galactica. And by doing so, a lot of premier brands, premier pricing was released. So our general plan for the Battlestar Galactica line is to actually re-release the line, but do it in the standard costume format. Substitute materials to really drive that price down. Now, for Battlestar Galactica, we plan on doing this for the standard greens, for the Duty Blues, which we've already launched, the Duty Blues, and potentially even the flight suit, if you can believe it. All right, folks, so this question comes from Facebook poster Tony Quilter. Do you have any plans to address the cost of international shipping? I know you can't do anything about customs charges, but in some cases the shipping costs are almost as much as the product being purchased. So international shipping has always been one of the challenges of Anovos, and I will tell you that within the last year we've actually gone ahead and looked at different fulfillment sites internationally. Luckily, we did find an international shipping and fulfillment service that actually has multiple locations throughout the world. So to answer your question, it will mitigate a lot of the taxes that you will see. Taxes that end up running up the price, as you very well know, to get an item from the US over to the UK or Canada. So hopefully that answers your question. And if you can just stay tuned, sign up for our newsletter, you'll be the first to know. All right, this next section I like to call the yes-no question. So it's not necessarily 5 questions, but it's actually just a spattering of multiple questions. I'd like to fire them off so you get some sort of idea of what we have coming out and what we have not coming out. All right, first question, here we go. Brian Johnson. Is the One Piece Premier Line First Contact jumpsuit in the pipeline? No, it's not. Saho Kwan. Are there plans for any more budget TNG pants? The answer is yes, there are. You should start seeing something about first quarter next year. Any possible plans for the 2009 Star Trek holster belts? And the answer to that is no. All right, next question. Lee Sanders, are you guys licensed and are planning to produce costumes from the new Star Wars? Are we licensed? Yes. Are we planning? Yes. You will know more late next year when we start releasing information about Episode 7. All right, next question. Christopher Bounier, he's asking about TNG pants, which we already know is yes. But there's a second portion to it, is are there any plans for producing prop replicas of the standard weapons in your license? And the answer is maybe. So, Beto Rodriguez, he's asking on Facebook, when does the Clone Trooper armor come out? We're looking at possible word on that and possibly even pre-order in the fourth quarter of this year, 2014. Actual shipment will probably happen spring of next year, 2015. And he's also asking, well, are there any specific armors like Captain Rex or Commander Cody? Well, let's just say this. Our preliminary plans with the Clone Trooper armor is that because there's so many variants on the Clone Trooper armor, we'd be fools not to try to get this into your hands because they're exciting, they're fun, they're different. So the answer to that question is yes. Any plans for a Star Trek Enterprise jumpsuit? Yes, absolutely. And that's it for this week. So if there's anything else, any other questions, we welcome it and we look forward to any of the questions that you have out there. Whether it's asking where's your order, all the way down to what's the newest and greatest from Anovos. We look forward to those questions, and doing it in this format is sort of a two-way type of communication, which is a little bit different than just the Facebook post, Twitter post, and so on. So until next time, I'm Joe Salcedo. Great talking to you. Thank you.